So I sat down to write a story with a main character who solved problems without weapons, which turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it would be to write a fantasy story where you don't, solve the problem by winning a big final fight. The second thing that inspired this book is that when I graduated high school and I moved states for college, I spent a little bit of time living with my aunt, who was someone who I loved dearly. But when I was living with her one on one, she made a couple of very deeply racist remarks that were very offhanded for her. But for me, as an 18-year-old, it was my very first experience up close with prejudice. I grew up in a really small farming town. I was pretty sheltered. And this was a really hard thing for me to not only come face to face with racism, but to come face to face with it from a person who I really loved and a person that I really admired. And so that was kind of hard for me to grapple with. Like, is my aunt still a good person if she has these beliefs about people without even meeting them? And this story, casters, who are the magic users in the world, there's prejudice against them. They're registered and they're branded within the country just for having magic. And there are all these beliefs, you can't trust a caster, you can't touch a caster. This whole group of people have just been isolated and been labeled with certain ideas and beliefs by the people who are different from them. And so when I was writing this book, those were the two things that I was grappling with, was, trying to have a heroine that was kind and trying to understand prejudice and grapple with the idea of how do we overcome it